All right. There we go. Welcome in, everybody, to the Rant with me, Pugs Moran, every Monday through Friday. It's a Monday, right? And I'm so confused about the weekend that we just came through. Hold on, my mic isn't high enough. There we go. That's a little bit higher. Hi, Mike. Hi, Kevin. Come on, chat room. Let's go, everybody. It is the Monday following a gangbuster 4th of July weekend. You know, over the weekend, it was weird having the 4th of July on a Friday because, first of all, it totally screwed up the whole week for anybody trying to do any kind of business. That always happens whenever you get near the 4th of July. But this particular 4th of July was worse because 4th of July was on a Friday, which meant that people who were going out of town or planning something big for the 4th of July could be allowed to quit work after Tuesday. No, I'm done. As soon as Tuesday's done, I'm done. I'm going home and taking Wednesday off. And then Thursday, we're hitting the road and we're going to be at the place by Thursday night because Friday's 4th. It screwed everything up. It ruined the entire week. And now I just want y'all to know that this week is also being ruined because 4th of July was on a Friday. So, you know, people were like, well, we don't stop 4th of July just because it's Saturday. We're going to do the whole weekend. And then people were like, oh, we got to get back to work on Monday. No, most people are like, no, we're taking Monday off too because it's America and we are privileged to be able to do these kinds. Seriously. So it's like nothing. I don't know when the world's going to get back to normal. Probably sometime around, I don't know, next Wednesday, people will be back from vacation. Not me. I'm here every day. We'll be doing it every day. I promise. Unless another holiday comes up. Or something with my kid. All right, I can't promise. Let's back off the promises. Sports Browser here says we're live. Jeff's here. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Barney. Hi, Mike. Hi, Kev. All right, come on, everybody. Let's go. Get in the chat room. We got a lot of stuff we're going to talk about today. That's what we do. Hot topics, things that I'm interested in. Not necessarily the biggest news of the day, although we will be talking about the biggest news of the day because holy shit. Seriously, way to ruin the good vibes on 4th of July weekend, especially here in Texas. Yeah, we'll talk about the flooding. We'll talk about Camp Mystic, and I'll cry. I'll probably cry. I can't look at any more pictures of little kids. Can't look at any more pictures of little girls, little tiny little 8-year-old girls all smiling with their little camp pictures. No. So we'll give that story its due. What else are we going to talk about? Ozzy Osbourne. We'll talk about Ozzy Osbourne. They used a crane to lift him on stage. He's just a giant marionette now. Ozzy Osbourne played his last concert over the weekend. We got footage. And something kind of cool that happened. We're going to enjoy that. What else do we have? Today? Shit that I want to talk about. I want to get into something that I watched with a group of friends, and I just don't get it. Again, missed my boat. You know, I swear to God, I don't understand the 4th of July food eating contests. More to the point, I don't understand this. What's the guy's name? It's not Ichi. It used to be Ichiro, right? He was the baseball player who also could eat 50 million hot dogs. What was that guy's name? I don't know. I don't know what that guy's name was. But anyway, the new guy that we're all supposed to be impressed with, the new guy, Joey Chestnut, that's his name. I watched him. I'm going to break down Joey Chestnut. I don't get this guy. He'll be dead by 50. How old is he? Is he over 50? He ain't over 50. You can't eat like that over 50. All right, so we'll talk about all of that stuff. We got a bunch of stuff to get into. I'm going to rip on Alex Cooper a little. You know who Alex Cooper is? Not to be confused with Alice Cooper, who, by the way, wasn't a person, all right? Wasn't a person until you people couldn't make the distinction between a band called Alice Cooper and its lead singer. And so the lead singer finally, after 10 years, went, fine, I'll fucking change my name to Alice Cooper, but that's not how this is supposed to be. No, not that Alice Cooper. I'm not talking about that Alice Cooper. I'm talking about Alex Cooper. It's that chick. It's that chick with a dude's name who does the #1 podcast in the world. She was at the Cubs game and she did something stupid. So we're going to talk about her. We're going to talk about stupid young people. A lot of stupid young people. Nowhere is the stupidity of young people more on display than on a lake straddling a jet ski. The dumbest, you damn kids in your jet skis. All right, so we'll talk about. I'm going to rip on young people today. What else are we going to do? Who knows? Who knows? It is Pledge Week, guys. It is the final day of Pledge Week. You see it scrolling down there. You guys, I haven't received a pledge. I haven't received a tip of support since I think Barney. I think Barney was the last one, and that was like on his birthday like a week ago. Not only did we not come close, we're not even halfway there. We got one day. So if you want to support this show, make it so I feel compelled to do shows, because quite frankly, I'm like, I don't need to do a show. There's only 4 people who support that damn show anyway. Well, if you want to help out the show, today would be the day, because damn it, people, this little thing is not working. And it never has. Actually, that's not true. It did. It worked for like the first 3 years, but it hasn't worked in this Trump economy. Yeah, some of you MAGA people, drop a little something. Prove that your guy is doing good. Because let me tell you, we had no problem supporting this show when Biden was in office. Trump economy, not a single month. We haven't made it a single month in this Trump economy. Actually, that's not true. We made it like every month until like April, and then the bottom fell out. So help us out. We're doing that today. All right, how's the show run? It's a stream of consciousness performed by me. From time to time, I'll interact with the chat room. Like Jeff says, that performance of Mama, I'm Coming Home, bone chilling. That's an Ozzy reference. Ozzy. Yeah, we'll talk about the good things about Ozzy. We won't necessarily, because why would we do that? He's old now. Ha ha ha. I mean, what the fuck are we, assholes? He's an icon. And they raised money for a really good cause. You know, he went out there and they gave him the Frankie Valli treatment, if you're familiar with the Frankie Valli. And then something else happened in front of him. I got great video of something that happened right in front of Ozzy, and I don't know if he was aware of what was going on, but it happened. So we'll do that. We'll have some fun with Ozzy later today. Jeff's in the chat room. Jeff is not only making Ozzy comments, but he's also saying this. Let me see as I read it for the first time. Jeff says that resort I stayed at had 3 travel baseball teams staying there. Talk about stupidity of tweeners and young teens. Yeah. I don't know. I've never stayed at a hotel with my family while like traveling baseball teams were staying there, but I have been a part of like athletic groups staying in hotels, and I can tell you, we don't give a fuck about your family vacation. We are having fun. God help you if we win, because we are going to party in the hotel. All right, let's see here. The show plays out in 4 categories. Why 4 categories? Because as I say, I do this as a stream of consciousness where all the hot topics of the day are going to flow out. But sometimes I get lost in the weeds. So 4 segments, I can always say, what segment am I in? Okay, so I can regroup. 4 segments. The first thing we do is that we'll talk a little bit about this day in history. Bunch of very interesting things. I left a word out. A bunch of very interesting things have occurred on this day, and I cherry picked some of them. We'll talk about those. That's quarter 1, antecedently on this day. It's a fancy way of saying today in history. Quarter 2 is birthdays, celebrities, historical figures. Do we like them? That's what we do with quarter 2, birthdays. Hey, so-and-so's having a birthday. Is he a dick? And we do that. Quarter 3 is deads. Celebrities, notable quotables, historical figures, that kind of thing. Those people who died on this day, we decide, where did they go? Did they go up or did they go down? Heaven or hell? That's quarter 3. All right, all that is just an extended prelude for us to get into all the hot topics that are happening today. The river situation, 4th of July, fireworks. Everybody got your fingers? I got all mine. I got all 10. Didn't see fireworks this year. Didn't need to. I was just like, does that come with being in your 50s where you're like, yeah, I get how fireworks work. What I don't get is how they just park people in cars and fields, and then you have to wait 4 hours because you can't get out of the field because the fireworks were so great. No, fireworks. That's the 50-year-old view of fireworks. Can I walk to the fireworks display? Because I ain't getting in my car and parking in some field and then being pinned in for 2 hours afterwards. I'm not doing it again. So I didn't see fireworks. We were on Lake Louisville, and the idea was, hey, let's just do what we do every year, which is see the fireworks from the boat. But that's not how it works every year. What happens is every year we get out there a little bit late because everybody's been drinking and it's all day in the sun. And you're like, where are the fireworks? And then somebody says, the fireworks are on this side of the lake. So you get in the boat and you drive 40 minutes to that side of the lake and the fireworks aren't there. So now we're up against it. Now the fireworks are about to start. And we see on the other side of the lake, this happens every year. This is not a specific story. And we see on the other side of the lake, the fireworks are happening. So we get in the boat and we truck over there. But then we decide we'll never make it in time. So we just sit. We just sit in the middle of Lake Louisville and watch distant fireworks. So we didn't do that this year. We were like, you know what? Let's just go. Let's just go home and do our individual town fireworks. And I was like, that's a great idea. So I got home and went to bed. That's what I did. How was your fourth? Was it good? By the way, my dog, hats off to my dog. Hats off to CeeLo, the hellhound. CeeLo don't give no fuck about fireworks. She really doesn't. You know how some dogs freak out about fireworks? CeeLo could care less. She's just like, yeah, what, a war zone? That's my vibe. Is that a war zone out there? I'm a hellhound. I am descended from Roman hell dogs. If shit's blowing up outside, I'm cool with that. So we didn't have to worry about that. I did pre-plan. I gave her a bunch. I gave her 2 melatonin gummies. I saw it online. I saw somebody who saw something online saying that you give your dog melatonin gummies and it'll help with fireworks, but she didn't need it. She was good. All right. That's it. I'm done rambling about my 4th of July. I hope yours was good too. Jeff has more. Jeff has more information regarding his, let's see here, his weekend with a traveling baseball squad. He said, the breakfast area, I've seen pigs leave a sty cleaner than those kids. No friggin' manners. They have manners. They have manners when their parents are around. But parents aren't around. Coach is. They don't give a fuck. Coach don't care. They got Coach Buttermaker running things. That's a reference to the Bad News Bears. You're welcome. Let's see here. Leslie throwing some shots in the chat room. I love fireworks, she says. I just don't like to go packing with a bunch of people to watch fireworks. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I mean, because there's part of the whole fireworks thing is that you're with people. People you don't have to be with most of the rest of the year, right? People you only see, it's 4th of July. It's Cousin Donnie again. And I don't know. I think that there's something. It is a lot of work. It just seemed like every fireworks display I've ever been to has had a lot of work involved for just sitting there. And then you do this. You're like, is that it? Is it over? And you're never sure if it's over. It's bad music. Real bad. Not bad music. Cliched music. Like all the music that you expect. Lee Greenwood. Stuff like that. All right. Jeff says parents were all nursing hangovers. Well, the parents who went, not all parents go. A lot of parents of kids who are good athletes, the hyper parents. Actually, I shouldn't say this. Because modern parents are different. Modern parents are very helicopter parents. But when I was a kid, if we were going out of town for some kind of sporting event, we're going to Indianapolis for this event. Most of my friends' parents wouldn't go. They saw it as good, a weekend, they're gone. The coaches and the school's responsibility at this point. But now it's like parents hover. Kids don't even take school buses anymore. What? Because this generation of parents thinks that their little angels need to be dropped delicately at the front of the door. What? I'm telling you, man, you learn how to be a part of society on the school bus. Anyway, I won't get into that. All right. What do you say we get started? Let's get started because I don't know how much time we got. We got a meeting here today at 4:00, so I got to be off the air by then. All right, let's go. Here it is. Q1, we call it antecedently on this day. It's a look back at all the things that have happened in this world. Let's do it. But first, allow me to tell you about today. It is the 7th day of July, year of our Lord, 2020. Yeah. 2025. I don't know why I got tripped up. It is the 188th day of the year. There's 177 more of these. We're on the dead side of 2025. That's right. We've got to start making up for all the things you said you were going to do in the first half, but didn't. Antecedently on this day in the year 1863, the United States begins its very first military draft. That's right. We had a draft all the way back in 1863. Here's a fun fact. Unless you were rich, $300, you could pay your way out. That's what the official exemption was for the military. So 1%er kids never had to serve. This isn't a thing. It was always a way that you could buy your out. If you had money, you did not have to sacrifice your life for this country because you had money. That's more important than your stupid poor person life. Go back to the farm, Johnny. I don't think so. You're going to die in a field in the... I don't know. I was trying to think of where there might be fields during 1863. What was 18? Was that Civil War? I don't know. All right. Here's a big one. One of the greatest inventions of all time. How do I know this? Because people have been saying it for years. It was on this day in 1928. Sliced bread was invented. Sliced bread. That's the greatest invention since sliced bread. Did you know that it was actually an invention? It was. Sliced bread is sold for the very first time on this day in Chillicothe, Missouri. Chillicothe Baking Company. Some dude in Iowa invented like a thing. Oh, here's a funny story about the sliced bread machine. So a dude in Iowa went, wouldn't it be easier if this stuff was pre-sliced? Because, you know, loaves were just loaves and you had to cut them at home. So he said, I'm going to invent something that does that. He invented it. And he told all of his friends and, you know, people in his little neighborhood, they all had sliced bread. And then there was a fire and the machine got burned. And he went, huh. He didn't do anything with it. And then like 10 years later, like his son or something was like, hey, maybe we should do something with this because people seem to like it. And boom, the greatest invention since sliced bread. 1928. Seems like we should have gotten to that way before 1928, doesn't it? Like, doesn't it seem like the Egyptians should have been slicing bread? Anyway, on this day, 1928. On this day in 1946, Mother Francesca Cabrini becomes the first American to be canonized. She's a saint. Mother Cabrini. What do we pray to her for? That's what I like about being Catholic. Here's what I like about being Catholic. We pray to saints. You know why? Because ultimately, Catholics are other Christians, you pretend Christians. I'm just kidding. I'm not even real Catholic anymore. I'm lapsed. But the way the Catholics view it as, you people, man, you don't respect God. You don't respect his time. You don't respect what he's doing. You people bother God with every little stupid problem. You're like, oh, God, please help me not run out of gas, right? Catholics don't do that. Catholics have specific saints, middlemen, if you will, who they pray to and who they suck up to. And then the hope there is that saint is then going to go to God and be like, hey, maybe you ought to take care of Pugs down there in Dallas because he really needs people to tip. That's what we do. Catholics pray to saints because we respect God's time. Thank you. We respect God's time. We're not going to bother him with. All right, there you go. Anyway, first American saint, Mother Cabrini, on this day, 1946. On this day, also in 1946, Howard Hughes crashed his stupid airplane into a house in Beverly Hills and almost died. You ever see the Howard Hughes movie, The Aviator? Yeah, he had this XF-11. It was a prototype reconnaissance plane that Hughes Aircraft was trying to get the United States government to pay for, and he crashed it into a house in Beverly Hills and almost died. Seriously, I don't know if anybody else died. Like, did people in the house die? Because this happened in 1946. And if other people in the house died, they wouldn't mention it because they didn't give a fuck about that. It was just about, let's sell papers telling people Howard Hughes was injured. Oh, and 5 people died on the ground, but never mind that. Howard Hughes almost died. The entire family was wiped out. It was terrible, but Howard Hughes almost died. That's what we remember. I don't know. Maybe nobody else died. I don't know. I actually read the Wikipedia page. Didn't say anything about anybody being in the house or anybody on the ground. What the fuck? Somebody was there. It was a mansion. It was a Beverly Hills mansion. Consuela, the 1946 illegal, wasn't, up changing the linens in the master bedroom when Howard Hughes' plane parked there, right there in the master bedroom. I don't know. That was 1946 as well. 1981, President Ronald Reagan nominates Sandra Day O'Connor to become the first female member of the Supreme Court. Sandra Day O'Connor. She had one of those old lady haircuts. Like, you ever look at a picture of Sandra Day O'Connor? You're like, man, she's got a haircut that George Washington would have loved. Remember when old ladies between like 1960 and like 1995, all old ladies had like a George Washington haircut. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's a World War II thing or what, but it was bad. All right. 1981, Sandra Day O'Connor. In the year 2005, a series of 4 explosions occur on the London transport system, killing 56. This is 7/7/2005. This is England's 9/11. This is where 4 idiots from Leeds decided to blow up 4 trains at 4 different stations all at the same time, and then they capped it off by blowing up a double-decker bus right there in Trafalgar Square. It's 4 guys, all English citizens. These were not immigrants. These were all English citizens, radicalized Muslim English citizens. But yeah, they killed a lot of people. There is an interesting, I haven't finished the whole thing. I've only seen the first 2 episodes. Netflix this month has a new documentary series about the bombings, the tube bombings in London. Horribly scary and pretty good. First, I think there's 3. I think I do this thing where I save the final episode of something, and I don't know why I do it, because I never go back and see them. Seriously, it's like I have a whole bunch of shows, a whole bunch of series where I'm saving the finale for what? Dialysis? What am I saving these for? I don't know. And I never go back. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch that. I know they caught him. Anyway, that was on this day in 2005. The terrible London bombings killed 56 people, injured over 700 others. On this day in 2016, let's talk about this one. 2016, it was 9 years ago. My God, it feels like it was just a couple of summers ago. But it couldn't have been, because I was in Chicago. And I remember being absolutely grilled to my TV. It was on this day that former U.S. Army soldier Micah Johnson shoots 14 policemen, killing 5 in downtown Dallas at the end of a protest of recent police killings of black men. Okay, so this was horrible. This was, was it a Black Lives Matter parade or something, or parade? Put a nice spin on it, will you? Protest. And this guy, just a nutball, decided that he was going to turn it into just carnage. He sniped a bunch of cops, right? Killed a bunch of cops all night long, man. It was all shut down. And I remember the way they got him, I thought was really cool. It was really controversial, but I'm like, no, that's exactly how you kill this guy. This guy doesn't deserve to live. He's shooting at cops. No, you can't kill. Isn't it ironic that at a protest for police brutality, this man was brutalized they rolled a robot up to him. He was hiding in a parking garage, shooting at people. They rolled a robot up to him with explosions, and they blew him up. And fucking people had a problem with that. That's cruel. No, you know what's cruel? As being a cop, wanting to just go home to your wife and family, and you're standing on a street corner trying to allow these people to peacefully protest and use their First Amendment right. You're a cop, you just want to go home, and all of a sudden your head explodes because this fuck is hiding in a garage somewhere, and you're going to tell me that the method that the police used to neutralize this guy is somehow what? Unsatisfying or somehow disturbing? Fuck you. Fuck you. If another police sniper had taken his head off while he stuck his head out, you wouldn't have had a problem with that, right? It was what? Because they used a robot? The robot was badass. And then what happened? That police chief, he ended up in Chicago, where he was the chief of police in Chicago for all their mayhem. I think Chicago hired him because they were hoping he'd bring the robots. Hey, bring the exploding robots you had down there in Dallas. We could use those in Chicago. Anyway, it was a horrible, horrible night, man. 5 police officers were killed in downtown Texas. A bunch of others injured. Fuck that guy, Micah Johnson. We don't even need to remember his name. All right, that's going to do it. That's on this day. Let's do the birthdays. Birthdays. These are people born on this day. Not a whole lot. Not a lot to go through today. Not a very big day for big stars. Born on this day in 1940. Here's a big one, though. Ringo Starr. He's a Beatle, so he's important. Ringo. What do I know about Ringo? Ringo missed. So people don't realize this. Ringo isn't an original Beatle. Ringo was brought in after the Beatles became big. Not big in America, but they were already big in England, and they were huge in Hamburg. And they finally got like a record deal. Brian Epstein had finally got him a record deal. Nobody would touch the Beatles. They were like, they ain't like anything that we know. So no music, labels would touch them. So they ended up signing with a comedy label, Parlophone or something. It was George Martin had spent years trying to turn this formerly classical music record label into a comedy label, and now all of a sudden Brian Epstein convinces him to record the Beatles, and well, the rest is history. But it was Brian Epstein who said, yeah, this drummer sucks, man. This drummer is terrible. You guys need a better drummer than this. So that's where Ringo Starr came into the picture. Ringo Starr was already a very popular rock and roll drummer with a band called Rory Storm and the Hurricanes. They were like the most popular band in all of England at the time. That's why they were impressed when the Beatles were like, you're going to give us the guy from Rory Storm? Well, hell yeah. Ringo was a professional. The other guys were just like, punks, basically. Anyway, happy birthday, Ringo Starr, born on this day, 1940. Born on this day in 1949, Shelley Duvall. She's dead. She died last year. Shelley Duvall, she of Olivsk. From Popeye. She was like the perfect Olivsk. She was great. Wendy from The Shining. Yeah. Shelley Duvall, she was awesome. Born on this day in 1949. Born on this day in 1966. I'll mention this guy, although I think he's still my mortal enemy. Been in a war with this man for better part of 20 years. Yeah. No signs of détente. Of course, that's because I don't have a radio show where I can have him on. Jim Gaffigan, born on this day in 1966. He hates me. Jim Gaffigan is like one of the nicest comedians working. Everybody's like, oh, he's a good guy. He fucking hates me. He fucking hates my guts, and I'm okay with it. Here's the Jim Gaffigan story. So Jim Gaffigan was playing the Improv, and he was supposed to sit in with us, right? But he couldn't be there at the start of the show. So usually when a comedian would come in and host the Friday show with us, they would just come in at the start of the show, and they'd be there for the whole show. We'd make them do traffic or whatever. They hang out. You remember how it used to be. So Jim Gaffigan couldn't do that. And they said, well, Jim's going to show up an hour later. Now, that's fine. I don't care, whatever. So Jim Gaffigan shows up, and he's in the green room, and he's waiting to come in, because he was told he was supposed to do the whole show. So he's in the green room. But here's the problem. The night before the MTV Music Awards were on, and it was still a thing. And quite frankly, back then, it was still a thing that Kelly and I would be very interested in watching and talking about. Nobody watches the MTV Awards anymore, but back then we were still watching it. So the MTV Music Awards were on. And if you remember, this is at the time when Britney was... when wasn't there a time when Britney was being a little bit weird? But Britney's being a little bit weird, and it was her big triumphant comeback, right? She was MTV Awards. Britney Spears going to appear, and she ain't been anywhere in like 3 months. Back then, 3 months is like a long time. Treating her like she's Greta Garbo and shit. Anyway, so the big deal was that Britney was coming out on the MTV Awards, and she came out with Madonna. And remember when Britney and Madonna made out? Britney and Madonna made out right there. She didn't say anything. Just Madonna came out, the opening of the MTV Awards, and they start to make out. Well, I just, as Richard Hunter said, Richard Hunter described that as the Pugs and Kelly 9/11, because that's the kind of story that my partner and I could talk about for an hour and a half. What's going on here? What would that be like? How would they work as a couple? All of that kind of stuff. So we started doing that, and we were having a lot of fun. It was me, Sybil, and Eric, and Kelly, and we were just riffing on that. Meanwhile, Jim Gaffigan's in the green room, and he's like, I want to get in there. Right? And we're like, not letting him come in, because we're having fun. He should have been here at the start. If he was at the start of the show, he could have. We're not going to, stop this. We're going. So Jim Gaffigan got mad, and he left. He stormed out. And then we found out that he stormed out. So we were like, what? He did what? And they're like, yeah, Jim Gaffigan left. We're like, why? And they're like, well, he was mad. He was mad because you made him wait in the green room while you did the Madonna Britney Spears thing. And we're like, well, that guy sucks. And then we spent like an hour just making fun of Jim Gaffigan, and we played some Jim Gaffigan bits, and we're like, we're lucky he wasn't in. He's stupid. We were like that. We were having fun. So Jim Gaffigan is in town for the next like 3 days. And apparently he heard us when we found out that he had walked out on us. He was listening to the show in the car back to wherever he was going, and he heard us like making fun of him. So he just basically got on stage and just ripped us for like everything. Yeah. Anyway, and he wouldn't do our show. We're like, the next time he came through, we're like, we should have him on. He wasn't big yet. He was still just struggling, Jim Gaffigan. We're like, let's have him back on. Let's talk about this. He's like, nope, wouldn't come on. Whatever. Happy birthday, Jim Gaffigan. You're my mortal enemy because you're a bitch. Because you didn't respect how important Madonna and Britney Spears making out was to Kelly and I back in 2004. Now maybe you do. Just always made me laugh. Richard Hunter said, what was he mad about? Doesn't he understand that that's a Pugs and Kelly 9/11 story? Yeah, it is. Kind of stupid shit we used to do. All right, that's going to do it for birthdays. Jim Gaffigan, born on this day. Let's do the deads. These are the people who've died. These are the people who've died. Where'd they go? Heaven or hell? Dead on this day. Oh, this is a fun one. This is a cool one. I like this chick. This chick is awesome. We all have forgotten about this chick, but our great-grandparents haven't, but we have. We've totally forgotten. Born on this, or dead on this day, we should say. One of the most important people who sacrificed. I said that wrong. This person is very important to our victory in World War II. Very important. She was born on this day in 1973. She was one of the original, she died on this day in 1973. She wasn't born on this day. She died on this day in 1973. She was born in 1922. She was like a sex symbol. She was one of the first drop dead gorgeous chicks in Hollywood. Veronica Lake. Veronica Lake. All right. So now you know it's Veronica Lake. Veronica Lake was the character that, have you ever seen LA Confidential? Remember Kim Basinger? Kim Basinger in LA Confidential. She was, the whole plot of that was that these prostitutes in 1940s California were going to a plastic surgeon that was making the prostitutes look like famous Hollywood celebrities so that, businessmen can go have sex with, whoever. And anyway, Kim Basinger played Veronica Lake. And it's probably one of the first times that Kim Basinger was playing somebody that she wasn't prettier than. So what did Veronica Lake do? Veronica Lake had a very famous haircut. She had a haircut that was known as the peekaboo, and it's pretty sexy. I mean, if you ever seen her and the way she used her peekaboo haircut, what it was one half of her face. She had long hair, but one half of her face, her eye, her left eye, I think, was covered by hair, and she would reflexively do this and blow it out, because it covered her eye. That became a thing with women. Women in the 1940s and shit, they had this Veronica Lake haircut where their hair hung in their face. But here's the problem. We needed women to work in factories for World War II, the whole Rosie the Riveter campaign and all of that shit. But half the women had Veronica Lake haircuts, and they couldn't work with these machines with their hair hanging in their face. So Veronica Lake took one for the team. She made and it played in all the movie theaters. She made this big newsreel thing where she got a new haircut. You want to see it? Okay. Let's look at pictures first so we can see this chick. All right. Here's what we're looking at. Okay. This is the hairstyle. You see this? There you have it. There's Veronica Lake. It's called the peekaboo hairstyle. You see how this little thing here covers her? Well, women couldn't work in machine shops with hair like that. So Veronica Lake had to do her duty. And this is what she did. Here you go. Let's watch this. This is a cool little thing from back. Hold on. How do we do this? Watch an old cool newsreel. All right, here we go. No, thanks. All right, here you go. Veronica Lake winning World War II, or at least doing her part. Here she is. All right, there's the haircut.
Oh, so you really have another eye, Miss Veronica Lake. And you got to change your hairdo? Oh, no, not that way. Better call in a hairdresser. Yes, it's the last we'll be seeing of the famous Peekaboo Bang. The reason? By request of the War Woman Power Commission. In war plants all over the country, women have taken over many of the machines. Time is wasted
Look, you can't see.
sweeping back dangling locks. Danger, too, lurks in the hang-down hairdo. So war-working women follow Veronica Lake's suit. It's back to Grandma's
All right,
style
well, we
once
can't
more
see it?
with the upsweep. Women
All
let
right,
their hair down
there it
once,
is. All right, we
like
can't even
Veronica,
see it.
Never again.
All right, there you have it. Anyway, Veronica Lake, she won the war for us. She's going to heaven. She got her hair cut. She was really hot. They really did make hot chicks back then. Just in case you were wondering if only hot chicks existed between like 1999 and now. No, they had hot chicks back then too, and Veronica Lake was one of them. Going to heaven. All right, who else do we have here? Dead on this day in 1973. Dead on this day in 2006. Ooh, here's another interesting one. Probably going to hell, though. I mean, I don't know. Here's my problem. Dead on this day in 2006, Syd Barrett. Syd Barrett is one of the founders of Pink Floyd. Syd Barrett lost his mind. Here's what I don't know, and this is why I'm conflicted about whether or not Syd Barrett's going to heaven or hell. So Syd Barrett was either mentally insane his entire life and he just never got help for it, which I would then heavily consider putting him in heaven because that's something he can't control. Or did Syd Barrett experiment with so many psychedelics and acid and drugs and all that kind of stuff that he went insane, in which case that's his own debauchery that led to his illicit behavior, so he would go to hell. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do with Syd Barrett. He's considered, he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He left Pink Floyd like long before they had their biggest successes, but critics will say that, no, it's the Syd Barrett era Pink Floyd that is really the critically acclaimed stuff. So I don't know. Maybe he was crazy and then he did the drug. I don't know what to do with Syd Barrett. Purgatory. 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 We're putting another person in purgatory because I don't know if he was really crazy and that's why he did crazy things and he just never got the help that he needed, and we have to have human compassion for people like that. Or if he was just a druggie who did fucked up druggie shit because he was drugged out of his mind. I don't know. Purgatory. All right, there you go. It's only the second person I think we've ever put in purgatory. El Gamboa says that Veronica Lake looks like Gwen Stefani. Yeah, Gwen Stefani was definitely doing a Veronica Lake thing. When Gwen Stefani did her glam thing, remember at first it was, I'm just a girl, and she looked like a skater, and then she shocked the world by doing her glam thing. Yeah, Gwen Stefani was absolutely doing Veronica Lake. That's who it was. But because most of us didn't know, we just went, Gwen Stefani's hot. What is Ed getting into in the chat room? Ed, more of a subplot, but yeah, I don't know what that's in reference to. Al wants to know where Kelly 2.0 is. I don't know where Kelly 2.0 is. We should probably check in with Kelly 2.0 maybe. I don't know. Kelly 2.0, are you there?
Hey, Pugs.
I always chuckle when I hear you because you're not real. Hey, why don't you tell us a little bit about Veronica Lake? I think she's super hot. Do you?
Veronica Lake was a major Hollywood star in the 1940s, known for her peekaboo hairstyle and femme fatale roles in film noir. She's definitely an iconic beauty, often celebrated for her allure and magnetism on screen. What do you find most intriguing about her?
The way she helped the war effort.
Yeah, she did her part during World War II by changing her iconic hairstyle to encourage women to adopt more practical looks for factory work. Her willingness to adapt for the greater good was pretty admirable. It's a fascinating piece of Hollywood history, don't you think?
I do. In fact, I just talked about it. My final question for you regarding Veronica Lake, would you?
I get the humor. But being an AI, I don't experience attraction or romantic feelings. I'm just here to chat, inform, and hopefully entertain. Anything else on your mind?
No, I'm good. That's kind of the answer I was expecting, so I'm not that bummed out by it. All right, let's get started. Here we go. All the things. Oh, by the way, one more time, okay? Please, one more time. Oh, support the show. We need tips. We ain't got nothing. The show is dying. Here's what we're going to do. Chat room, here's another thing I need help with, right? Because I got a meeting here at 4 o'clock, and I got a thing I got to do tonight. I have not started my trivia questions for tomorrow. I need 8 categories, okay? Subjects that you want me to write trivia for, okay? Like here, you want to know how far I am? Mustaches. That's going to be one category. Mustaches. Chat room, give me tips on categories for trivia. I need certain I've hit a wall. I'm like, what are some mustaches? That's the best I can do. Famous people with mustaches. That's a shitty category, and yet that's all I got. So help me out. If you come up with some interesting or fun categories that I could chew on, that I could make some trivia questions around, suggest them in the chat room, please. And then we'll do trivia tomorrow night at the back 9, 4060 Beltline Road. All right, here we go. Let's get into all the stuff today. Let's see here. What do we got here? God. Change of tone. So we got to talk about the floods, right? We here in Texas are going through some things, and it's real serious. It's real serious. I mean, how far is Kerrville from Uvalde? Because the last 2 horrifically tragic events that have involved children, right? Texas. Why we got to go through this? Why we got to have the Uvalde little kids get slaughtered? And then why do we got to have 15? There's 15 summer camps along the banks of the Guadalupe River, which runs through hill country here in Texas. 15. This is where the people of Texas send their children to go to summer camp, to have fun, to have memories that'll last a lifetime. The fuck, man? Excuse my language, but I mean, what? So Camp Mystic is the one that's getting all of the attention because they just went underwater. Then look, numbers. What do you want? Numbers? Some are saying over 100. Then I think the official number is at 80 and climbing. 80, mostly kids. Okay, I know maybe not, I don't know what the exact breakdown is, but the fact that it is a large group of children who have been just swept away, and there's nothing that we can do about it. There is nothing. This isn't, let's clutch the pearls and talk about gun laws. We can't do anything about it. Oh, what are you going to do? Oh, well, those camps shouldn't have been so close to... Oh, shut up. Camps... It's not the camp's fault. It's not the camp director's fault. This is just weather. Now, you want to wait a few months after these families have put their kids in the ground, and then you want to talk about, we have the warnings that, weather is getting worse and we need more money and they're cutting the money for, then you can do that shit. But how gross was it on Saturday to start seeing people making this political? People saying that this has anything to do with anything. Shut your mouth, man. You can have those arguments later. I feel the same way about whenever we have one of these mass shootings and then there's somebody who's 1,000 miles from where the shooting took place on Twitter going, well, this is because, and shut up. Shut up. What the fuck, man? Wait, is this in this moment while you're typing this, do you feel superior and therefore you're getting your little brain dosage? You're not even thinking about other people out there who are just looking for their kids. Pictures and stuff. I mean, what do you want to see? What are we going to do here about these floods? Here. I'll show you where it is. I'm not going to give you numbers. I mean, this is being covered endlessly by everybody. I don't think there's a person here in Texas who isn't fully aware of the devastation that's happening. All right, let's look at this. All right, what do we got here? Oh, here's all the camps. Okay, so this is basically what we're looking at here. Here's the Guadalupe. Where's Kerrville Central? Let's see if we can find that. Hold on. Because it's not just Kerrville. I mean, the rivers have busted their banks in Georgetown, in Hunt. All right, here we go. All right, so here's the river, right? So we're looking at this. Here's the river. I don't know what it looks like here in downtown Kerrville. I don't know if Johnny Manziel's favorite bar has been affected or not. But okay, so here, as we go through the river here, you start to see all of these camps, all of these little, and by the way, Camp Mystic isn't even on here. There's like a bunch of camps that aren't even on the Google map. Hold on, and I'll show you where it's supposedly. All right, so here, where does it split? Where does it split? This where it's okay. Hunt. Here we go. It splits over here near Hunt, right? I don't know. I had this thing. I had this all. Oh, here we go. Okay, so here's the split. All right, so this is where the Guadalupe splits, and Camp Mystic is somewhere down here. See where it says Camp La Junta temporarily closed. But yeah, so this is, as we go down, I don't know what these are. I don't know. Is this the camp? No, it's I don't know. Anyway, so this is the area here as we pull out. This is the area where Camp Mystic, that's the one. But again, that's just the one that they keep talking about. There's a whole bunch of other ones with dead kids and missing counselors. And all right, so there we have the Kerr County stuff, right? So this is all happening down here around Kerrville. But then we got this shit up here, all the way up in, let me pull it out, Georgetown. All right, so here's Austin, College Station. All right, so Georgetown is up here. There's Georgetown, right? We got all of this. And what river is this? Is this still the Guadalupe or is this something else? Let's see what river this is. Native. That's the San Gabriel. Okay, so the San Gabriel is also fucking up Georgetown, which if you ever been to Georgetown, Texas is awesome. That Georgetown was a place where when my ex-wife was attending UT and my son was down there and I was still in Dallas, we used to, do trade-offs. And we used to do it in Georgetown because Georgetown was awesome. And now I can't believe it. But here, this little apartment complex here, we keep seeing video of this. Where is it? This apartment complex is completely underwater. Where is it? San Gabriel. Well, I don't know. It's all ugly. All right, so let's see what's the latest. All right, what's the latest on the floods? We're not blaming anything. I'm not here to blame. Well, these are the Doge cut. Okay, again, stop it. Stop it with that shit. Let's find as many kids as we can. I saw Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz was speaking for about an hour. Said absolutely nothing. Don't know what he's doing. Okay, so now I'm reading a headline here that says the number is up to 100. Okay, I don't believe that is the official number. I watched the press conference about an hour ago. The number that they said was 80. Texas flood death toll set to top 100 as family members summoned to Kerrville to ID bodies. Texas Division of Emergency Management predicted the number of dead as a result of the catastrophic flooding in Kerrville on July 4th would top 100. In an email sent out Saturday, the state disaster office told partners the number of dead. Okay, we got that. Our state assets and local partners are continuing to search for live victims. So at what point do they stop searching? I don't want to read any more of this shit because it's all just really sad stuff. But when do they stop searching? At what point did they determine that someone couldn't hang on to a tree for that long? Because they were plucking people out of trees yesterday, alive, kids. There was one kid and a counselor. They were clinging together on a branch. River waters are raging around them, and nobody could see them because they were shrouded in the trees. Like they were inside the tree. You couldn't see them. And the water was so loud you couldn't hear them. How about that Coast Guard dude? Do we know about the Coast Guard dude? Have we heard about him yet? This Coast Guard dude saved like 60-something people. Let's find this guy's name, right? Rudnick or something. Hold on. Yeah, let's give this guy some credit because I really don't know how to talk about this. It's just so sad. New Jersey native. All right, that's Scott Ruskin is his name, okay? Scott Ruskin. Let's keep good thoughts for this badass. Scott Ruskin, Coast Guard hero. Hold on. How many people does he save here? 165 people? I thought it was 65. 165. Scott Ruskin, he's a 26-year-old rescue swimmer with the United States Coast Guard. He's being applauded as an American hero after his first mission saw him save 165 people. This is his first thing he's ever done as a rescue swimmer for the U.S. Coast Guard. The very first thing, saved 165 people. Over the 4th of July weekend, flash floods tore across central Texas. The Guadalupe River surged by more than 20 to 26 feet within 90 minutes, causing widespread devastation and forcing evacuations. More than 80 people have died, according to the Associated Press, and flood warnings have been activated by the National Weather Service across Texas. Boy, we're not that far. We're only about 200 miles, right? Here in Dallas-Fort Worth. We haven't gotten any rain, and we got a little rain. We didn't get much rain. It's like it's all missing us. Let's see here. Here he is. Let's get a look at this dude. All right, let's get a look at this hero. 165 people were saved by this badass. Here we go. Look at him. And he's handsome, ladies. He's handsome. 165 people. All right, let's keep reading. Let's see here. What else do we have on this guy? Petty Officer Ruskin. He's from New Jersey. He used to be a Wall Street bro. He used to be a KPMG accountant. He enlisted in the U.S. Coast Guard in 2021 after completing rescue swimming. He was stationed in Corpus Christi, Texas. He says, this is what it's all about, Ruskin told the New York Post. This is why we do this job. The 26-year-old was in charge of triage at Camp Mystic, a summer camp where there were 700 girls at the time of the flash flood. The mission involved extensive cooperation between the Coast Guard, the Texas Department of Public Safety, the Air National Guard, and the Texas Task Force 1, a FEMA urban search and rescue force. A search and rescue technician with the Texas Task Force 1 called upon the Coast Guard for help for an emergency rapid response. That's a little bit outside our area of operation normally, but people were in danger, and we're a good asset to try and help people out. And these guys were asking for help, so that's kind of what we do, Ruskin said. Ruskin helped to lead a rescue mission that ultimately brought 165 people to safety. Here's another quote from him again. So we basically got the majority of the people out of Camp Mystic, which is awesome. And I feel like we did a lot of good that day. But obviously, it's still super sad, he said. There's still a lot of people missing and unaccounted for. So the mission's not over yet. It is certainly not over for us. Ruskin's effort have been applauded across social media, including by Homeland Security Director Kristi Noem. The official X account for Homeland Security shared a full post applauding Ruskin's efforts. Well, let's do that too. Oh, here's another cool picture of him. All right, say yeah, let's more cool, badass pictures. Holy shit, does he have a Hitler mustache? Oh my God. Does he have a Hitler mustache? Does this new American hero have a Hitler mustache? I'll let you be the judge. Here we go. I don't care. This dude could make that. Look, is that? I mean, I know it's not, but it's a little bit darker in the center. It just looks a little Hitlery. Hey, bleach that out, Scott. Okay, it's just a little troubling. Look at him. There he is. That's an American badass right there. All right. So, I mean, more floods are coming. All right. That's what they're saying. They're saying we got more floods on the way for the area. But everybody's evacuated, right? I mean, there isn't like still a couple of, camps going on that like it wasn't bad for us, so we're just going to stay with our arts and crafts festival for the next 10 days. No, they've all been evacuated. So more floods. We're just talking about, again, flood damage to Johnny Manziel's favorite. Or, who else I learned is from Kerrville, Texas? There's a number of people from Kerrville, Texas. Johnny Manziel, of course, Johnny Football. But then Thomas Hayden Church. Remember Thomas Hayden Church? Nah, probably not. But he's an actor. He was in Wings. He played like the big dumb plane mechanic in Wings, Thomas Hayden Church. He's a good actor, but doesn't really do many high-profile things. Who else is from there? I don't know. A couple of spare football running backs that I've never heard of. But all right. So, I mean, I don't know how much more I can really say about this. Like I said, there are serious people covering this very seriously. We're all very saddened by it. It's unthinkable. I mean, it's unthinkable. My son is 16 years old, right? My son, when you have a kid, and maybe it's different when you only have one, because when you only have one, you're like hyper tuned into, I don't have one in reserve. Not that parents who lose a child and have a sibling feel that way. That's not what I mean. But it is a very basic way of looking at the way you treat your child when it's like, I've got nothing in reserve. You got to hit on all cylinders, man. You got to take care of me when you're old. You got it, right? So, it's all of that stuff. And my kid is 16, and we are long past me having to worry about him being abducted. You know what I mean? Like try it. That's, I've been saying that for years. Try and pull up with your white creeper van and try and get my kid into the back. He will fuck you up. He will beat the shit out of anybody that tries to abduct him. I'm confident of that. So don't worry about that. But we still worry about these things where we send our kids off into the world and it's not about danger. It's about our next breath is just simply not guaranteed. And I say this all the time, and it's not me being fatalistic or morbid. It is me just trying to explain why I live the way I do, why every fucking day is just another day where I try to see how happy I can be, because that's the only thing that's important, is just being happy. I mean, there are other things that are also important, but the most important thing for a human being is to be happy. You only get one life. And what you think is going to make you happy is often not the stuff that really does make you happy. So anyway, life is so delicate. And there's a bunch of parents who sent their kids off to summer camp and expected, well, we're going to get a nice 10-day break. Maybe go down for parents' weekend or something, something like that. And in the blink of an eye, it's over with. Isn't that interesting, though? Because here is what I thought. And please don't, this is just me thinking out loud. And I have, hopefully my heart is in the right place. So I don't mean to say something that could be taken as bad. But one of my first thought was, who is sending their kids to summer camp on the 4th of July? Don't these things happen the week after 4th of July? I mean, I always remember like camps and all that. You didn't, because you were with your family. So, and again, I don't mean to make that, whoa, who are these parents? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that seems odd. Like, were there less campers or more campers because it was 4th of July? I don't know. But holy crap, man. I mean, riverbanks overflow all the time. But not on the banks of like 15 children's summer camps in Texas. All right, there we go. All right, that's all we're going to do on that. No, what the fuck? Applause? I don't think so. I'm a little twisted on this because it's kids and they're missing and they're still out there. And how long can they hang on to trees? And I don't want to talk about it anymore because I'm afraid that if I try to stretch this out, I'll say something that just someone should kick me in the face for. So let's move on. What is Brandon saying? Who's on a show called Tires? I watch Tires. I like Tires. Who's on a show called Tires? That's Shane Gillis's show. Shane and his other guy. Oh, is somebody Thomas Hayden Church, is he on tires? Is that what you're saying, Brandon? I don't know. All right, let's keep going. Let's move on to the next big story here today. This one I'm a little bit more comfortable riffing on. This one I'm a little more comfortable going balls out. The Epstein list. Okay? You fucking people. Yeah, you know what? You people, they did it to you again. They did it to you again. The Epstein list. There ain't nothing to see there. There ain't nothing to see on the Epstein list. This has been the official word, the final word by our newly elected United States, only the truth, MAGA bullshit government. Nothing to see here. There is nothing in the Epstein list. Now, all of these people for the past 5 years, they've been screaming about how if you put me in, I'm going to get you the Epstein list. And all of us stupid fucking inbred morons are like, yeah. They lied to us. They lied to us again. They're all protecting each other. I don't know if there's an Epstein list. I know there's something. You can't say that there's something as loudly and as passionately. Well, maybe you can if you're a fucking piece of shit. And I'm starting to think that all of these people are fucking pieces of shit. People who told you about all these names that are on the list. All of these influencers. Do you remember when all the influencers, what do they do? They keep you, they keep us, they keep the stupids in line. The influencers are important to the man controlling the puppet strings because they keep us in line. The fucking, who are the cat turds and the fucking Jack Posos, all these people that you follow because they say things that make the juices go off in your heads. And you choose to believe these things because you like the juices. These fucking morons, remember they were invited to the White House about 6 months ago and they were all traded to the inside scoop. Oh, and they put that out and it all went viral and you people are like, we're getting the answers. Those people were used to manipulate you. That's what that was. Do you understand that now? Because a whole bunch of people back in the moment were going, these people are being used to manipulate you. And then remember Pam Biondi, the Attorney General? Remember how about this? Remember when she went on Hannity last March and she said that a whole dump truck filled with evidence was on her desk. And now that we've got Kash Patel in charge, we're going to get to the bottom of this. Do you remember that bullshit on Hannity? And you guys all watched it and went, I'm so glad we got the Barbie Attorney General because she's finally going to release the list. So let me ask you, I'll play this for you, Pam Biondi. I'll play this for you, Biondi on with Hannity. You tell me, is she lying to you? Which is it? Does she have a shit ton of evidence that's on her desk that she is looking at? Does she? Because that's what she says here. Or is she lying to you? And if she is lying to you, does that at all change your idea about whether or not she should be the fucking Attorney General? Kash Patel, remember those two fucking freaks, Patel and Bongino, the shock jock, the disgraced Secret Service agent who went into fucking shock jock conservative talk? Remember that guy who you decided that you think should be put in charge of some fucking levers with his spray tan and his weird, I'm 60, but look at me, I'm still yoked? That's a fucking weirdo. And you people put all of this trust in him. He's not gonna lie to us. Well, guess what? They're all playing the game. They're all playing the game. They're all lying to you. All right, let's watch this. Let's watch Hannity from back in the day. Here, do we have it? Hannity from back in the day, and by that I mean March. Here we go. This is Pam Biondi, the Attorney General, talking about how she's got the information. She's got the evidence. She knows what it is. She's not going to tell you right now, but she knows. How do you feel about being lied to like this?
And the FBI handed over a couple hundred pages of documents. But, you know, Sean, I gave them a deadline of Friday at 8 a.m. to get us everything. And a source had told me where the documents were being kept. Southern District of New York, shock.
Okay, so Southern District, that's a political shot because the Southern District of New York is who went after Trump. So now she's on Hannity. She's saying there's all this evidence that names names. And of course, the Southern District of New York is sitting on it. Is that a fucking lie? Because today you're saying there is no evidence. Today you are saying there's nothing. that there was never anything. So what are you saying here, Pam? You are saying there is something and that you are using it to politically demonize your rivals, the Democrats or liberals in the New York, in the Southern District. So which is it? It's all fucking lies. Now, this is not a, well, Pugs, you must think that the Biden people, no, the Biden fucking people lied too. They lie. They all lie. But you people are running around when the people you're supporting are obvious fucking criminals. You people are running around going, no, these guys are telling the truth because I listened to Bongino on the radio. You've been fooled. We all been fooled again. These people lied to us. This is bullshit. There was a list of very powerful people who were fucking around with Epstein because this crew thought they could get along with that, get away with anything. And yeah, it probably does have the name Clinton, and it probably does have a lot of other names on it, celebrities and whatnot. But I promise you this, it also has the fucking name Trump on it. And that's why it doesn't exist. Your hero. I mean, my God, Bill Clinton's name is like on one document. Meanwhile, there are thousands of pictures of Trump with Epstein. Show me the thousands of pictures of Clinton with Epstein. There's a couple, and they look like post-political pictures where, you know, Clinton's standing there and then a line of billionaires one at a time come up and they take a picture. That is not the impression I get with the Epstein and Trump pictures. The Epstein and Trump pictures these are friends who are partying. This is a fixed job, and you MAGA people need to see it now. How do you not see it? We'll continue.
So we got them all by, hopefully all of them, Friday at 8 a.m., thousands of pages of documents. I have the FBI going through them, and Cash is also, now that we have Cash here, it's a game changer, of course, and Cash is going to, Director Patel is going to get us a detailed report as to why the FBI withheld all of those documents.
That's right. Remember the liberal FBI, why they're withholding all this. It's them. They were keeping this from you because of Clinton and Obama and all of the libtards who are on the list. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're doing the same fucking thing. This is how she ginned you up 3 months ago with promises, and it's coming, and we've got the right people involved. And then, you know, all of this time later, we forget because we're dumb. Wait, what? Wasn't there supposed to be something? And then today it's, yeah, there's nothing to see here. And you're all expected to suck it up.
Okay, I want to be clear because I think people got frustrated because they were expecting more. You were expecting more, and you didn't find out less than 24 hours before the release. You got a whistleblower that confirmed that there were way more documents that they were supposed to turn over, and then you found out just before that.
Well, sure. And you're looking at these documents going, these aren't all the Epstein files. You know, there were flight logs, there were names and victims' names. And we're going, where's the rest of the stuff? And that's what the FBI had turned over to us.
So as of here, they finally got the stuff. So she's admitting that there is stuff. There is stuff. The FBI got it from the Southern District of New York, who they were, of course, hiding it. But Kash Patel is now in charge, and he got it from them awful libtards. And now we have it, and we're getting ready to what? What are you getting ready to do? Wait 3 months and then announce that there's nothing to see?
And so a source said, whoa, all this evidence is sitting in the Southern District of New York. Yeah. So based on that, I gave them the deadline, Friday at 8, a truckload of evidence arrived. It's now in the possession of the FBI.
So the truckload of evidence that the Attorney General of the United States says arrived, she's not saying she's expecting or she's waiting on it. She is saying that a truckload of evidence arrived. And now we learn that that truckload of evidence was just a bunch of blank pages. There was nothing on them. Oops.
Cash is going to get me and himself, really, a detailed report as to why all these documents and evidence had been withheld. And, you know, we're going to go through it as fast as we can, but go through it very cautiously to protect all the victims of Epstein, because there are a lot of victims.
Well, you had identified in
right here. There's a lot of victims. We're going to protect all the victims. 3 months later, there are no victims. There ain't no, it was just not a thing. It was just what you know about. That's all. He did it once and he got caught with the Prince Andrew stuff. She is telling us that there are shit tons of victims, which means that there are shit tons of crimes. 3 months ago. Nothing to see here now.
Phase one, over 254.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, is that the only thing that would be redacted? Will everything else be made public that you get in your possession?
Yeah, the FBI hasn't had, obviously, they haven't looked at the thousands of pages of documents that they've just received Friday.
Yeah.
But Cash has a team going through them, and it's always about protecting the victim. But you know what? We believe in transparency, and America has the right to know. The Biden administration.
Just saying it. Oh, here we go. Now it's going to be the Biden administration. Here we go. That's right. We transparent. Biden administration, not transparent. We transparent. I'm done with this bitch. I'm done with this. So let me ask you this about it. We also got a piece of video. Should we show you the video? Do you even care about the video? I don't give a shit about the video. Apparently there is a video, closed circuit video from the jail the night that Epstein supposedly killed himself or was killed, depending on how you believe or what you believe. Apparently there's like 2 minutes missing. It's like they're just so ham-fisted. It's like apparently there's 2 minutes missing. See, here's the video. Nobody goes near his cell. What about the 2 minutes that are missing there, like between 3:47 in the morning and 3:50 in the morning? What about those 3 minutes? Well, that's a glitch. It happens sometimes, but nobody. I don't know. That's an internet rumor. I don't even know if there's 2 minutes missing. There probably is. I wouldn't put it past them. So the video is there. Let me see. Can we see the video? All right, let's watch the video. Ugh. It shows us nothing. It's absolute, garbage. Is this the video? Yeah, here you go. Hold on. Here we go.
The financier was in prison as he awaited a major trial over sex trafficking charges after decades of sick activity with minors. Around 11 hours of new CCTV footage reveals life inside the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York City on August 9 and 10 in 2019. The looming threat of an FBI probe into Prince Andrew has also been dropped, with the Justice Department memo saying no new people in the case would be charged. Footage from inside the prison shows a grey-haired Epstein handcuffed in an orange jumpsuit being led to his cell by a guard at around 7:49 p.m. on the 9th. The pair moved down a small flight of stairs on the left of the screen and walked to the right across the common area as they head to his cell. CCTV footage doesn't show Epstein's cell door, but it would capture anyone walking to it, the Department of Justice said. Other than the guard leaving, no one walks across the common area towards Epstein's cell or away by a guard.
Can I ask a question? And I know that this isn't an original thought, but why is it that I can watch on Twitter raw video from, just rando citizens at protests or whatever? I can watch raw video and it's super high definition and super clean. And every single security video, in every single traffic video, in every single CCTV video still has this shitty 1979 grainy resolution. Why is that? I mean, you got to wonder. Every time they show us these security videos, it's always grainy and it leaves a lot to be. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. You're telling me that you can't get a better digitized video of Epstein walking around on his final night?
At around 7:49 p.m. on the 9th. The pair moved down
Why is the camera a block away, too? Why isn't there a fucking CCTV camera in the actual area where he is? Why isn't that a video?
Small flight of stairs on the left of the screen and walked to the right across the common area as they head to his cell. CCTV footage doesn't show Epstein's cell door, but it would capture anyone walking to it, the Department of Justice said. Other than the guard leaving, no one walks across the common area towards Epstein's cell or away from it. At approximately 10:39 p.m, a guard appeared to walk in the direction of Epstein's cell.
Why is that so grainy? You know what? This is just stupid. We live in such a stupid timeline. I can take a video of my dog pooping on a walk that is just crystal clear. I can do it at night with the built-in flash and all of that. It's going to be a beautiful fucking picture. But nothing important is ever able to be seen. Nothing important has good resolution. Nothing. UFOs, Bigfoot, Jeffrey Epstein, nothing. I'm done with it. MAGA's going nuts, though. I don't know how my MAGA friends are dealing with it. I'm going to fuck with some of my MAGA friends later today. I'm going to ask them about it. But you in the chat room, my MAGA people in the chat room, how are you feeling about this? You feeling duped? All of those idiots, the cat turds and the other people that they invited to the White House back in like February and gave those cute little plaques. We saw the Epstein file. Remember that? And their job was to go out and convince you people, to stay stirred up. All of those people have turned on. As of today, they're all like, what the hell, blah, blah, blah. So whatever. I'm wondering how you, my MAGA friends, feel about this. It's going to be difficult, when you realize that your hero is a pedophile or whatever. I'm telling you, man, Trump and Epstein were friends. This whole thing is being swept under the rug. It was all part of his plan. It's projection. Say the thing that you do. That's all they do. That's projection, right? Boy, Trump really good friends with Epstein. So he would do this. This would be his version of projection. Boy, he had a lot of friends, a lot of bad friends. I was never friends with him. Yeah, you were. We see the pictures. But you just say, he doesn't have to be truthful because there's no shame involved. He doesn't care that people are like, there's pictures of you being friends with him. Just say it. You just project it. That guy's a pedophile. Yeah. What are you saying? Are you a pedophile? I'm thinking that you're a pedophile. Everything that he accuses other people of being, he is. I'm getting sick of this shit. But I will say this. All right, so let me bring some of my MAGA people back. Had a conversation on the 4th of July about this. Hey, liberals, Trump might have fixed the whole Iran thing. Hey, liberals, you don't want to hear that, do you? It looks like he pretty much put Iran in the corner. Iran is fucking being good. Now, I don't know. We could be waiting. Maybe we don't want to celebrate because the other shoe could drop. But let's be honest. Old Daddy Trump put fucking Iran in the corner. Did something that nobody else was ever willing to do. Just say, fuck it, let's go. And that seems to have worked out okay. There's some good and there's some bad. I don't know. All right. The Epstein stuff is bullshit, though. Let's not play with that. All right. Let's go on. What else do we have here? Should we talk about Ozzy? Yeah, let's do the Ozzy stuff because this is fun. This is good, heartwarming stuff. Unless you're a cynic and you just want to be like, Ozzy's like a, paper mache marionette these days. Ozzy Osbourne played his final concert ever. He will not be performing again. Ozzy Osbourne played with Black Sabbath, his old bandmates, Manchester, England. It was a metal, insane party. It wasn't just Ozzy and a bunch of old dudes from Black Sabbath. Everybody was there. Everybody in the metal world was there. There was an all-star metal band that came out. It was just insane. Here, let's look through some of these pictures, and then I've got a really cool piece of video that I want to share with you. All right, here you go. This is from Ozzy's last concert over the weekend there in Manchester. He has Parkinson's. I'm not entirely sure he knows where he is. He couldn't walk. He rose from the stage in a black bat throne, right? He didn't have to move. He was sitting in the throne. Now let's go through some of these. Oh, isn't this interesting? Look at this. A post from Ozzy himself. Meeting Axl Rose backstage. He says, Ozzy says, my first time meeting Axl Rose. At my age, you don't get to meet many legends. Seriously, an utter gentleman. Look at that. Isn't that nice? You got Ozzy and Axl right there. By the way, that's what everybody says about Axl. Axl's a good dude. Axl's like a really normal, and not like Tyson. Or maybe it is like Tyson. I don't know. Mike Tyson is like a good dude because he's all tranked up all the time. He's like a lion that they bring out to a rich kid's birthday party. Like he's all fucking tranked up. So that's why Tyson in public is pretty much manageable and people are like, oh, he's nice. He's smiley. Yeah, because he's doped up. He's like super tranked up. I think Axl might be the same way. Axel might be tranked up too. All right, there's Axel backstage in Manchester paying his respects to Ozzy. Look at this. Oh, Hetfield. Look at this. More from Ozzy. Look, James Hetfield backstage. Metallica in the house. What else do we got here? Guns and Darkness. I don't know who that is. Oh, it's Slash. I don't know. Is that Axel and Slash? That's not Axel. Well, the red hair. I'm like, is that Axel? All right, we're going to say that's Axel and Slash. There with Ozzy. All right, let's see that. Here he is singing. All right, let's get a load of this. Ozzy in concert. Here we go. Let's see what he sounds like. All right, that's terrible. That is real, but whatever. You're there. The reason you're there is because it's his last show. You know you're not expecting Ozzy at the LA Forum in 1979, right? All right, what else do we got here? All right, is this a picture of him on his throne? That's how he looked on stage. Yeah, there he is right there. All right, I'm going to show you the video that I really like. That's old video of him. Oh, here's more video of him. Let's see if this is better. All right, I'd have a good time. I'd be having a time of my life. I don't need to see. Hey, I got Zach Wilde. He can still shred. That's cool. He's up there playing the Randy Rhoads leads on Crazy Train. Nothing wrong there. All right, let's see. What else do we have? Going off the rails. Hold on. Make that smaller. There we go. All right, what else do we have? More Hetfield and Ozzy. Oh, okay. So here, this is kind of a fun video. I'm going to show this to you. All right. So here we have backstage. I don't know if he's performed yet or if I think this might be after the concert. He looks a little sweaty, although, he might just be sweaty all the time. So here you got Sharon Osbourne, of course, Ozzy's caretaker all these years. And this right here in the hoodie, this is Kelly. We all know Kelly Osbourne, Kelly the daughter, right? All right, watch what happens. This right in front of Ozzy backstage at his final concert.
Kelly, I love you more than anything in the world.
Fuck up, you're not married, boy. Do it.
Did you catch that? Yeah. This is Kelly Osbourne's boyfriend proposing to Kelly in front of Ozzy and Sharon. And just before he gets rolling with it, Ozzy speaks up and goes, "Fuck that, you ain't marrying my daughter." He still got it. All right, here we go. I get the impression that Sharon knows what's coming because he probably cleared it with the tower, if you know what I mean. And Sharon is most definitely the tower. Here we go. Let's watch.
Kelly, I love you more than anything in the world.
Fuck up, you're not married, boy. Do it.
Nothing would make me happier than to spend the rest of my life with you. So in front of your family and all of our friends. Kelly, will you marry me?
So I'm guessing she said yes. Which is pretty awesome for that guy. That guy just got his hooks into Ozzy Osbourne money. Oh! At the very least, that guy knows that his children with Kelly Osbourne are going to be rich. His kids will be rich. Maybe not him. He'll be able to enjoy, the trappings of being in the Osbourne family. But his kids are going to be Ozzy Osbourne's grandchildren. Those kids are going to go to good schools and have fast cars on their 16th birthday. Let's see here. What else do we want to talk about today? Ozzy doing his last thing. Joey Chestnut. I was going to do a whole thing on food, right? I wanted to do Joey Chestnut, but we'll save that for tomorrow. I don't get the whole food thing. Oh my God, I'm out of time, guys. It's 3:30. I'm sorry. I'm out of time. I want to do Alex Cooper. I can't do Alex Cooper. I'll have to do that tomorrow. I got to wrap this up. All right, folks, here's what we're going to do. We're going to wrap today's show up. Tomorrow we'll be back. Tomorrow's a trivia day. We'll be back. We'll do trivia tomorrow. Or we'll do a show, and then we'll go up and we'll do trivia tomorrow night at the back 9, 4060 Beltline Road, 7:30 trivia, prizes, fun trivia. Nobody helped me with categories. I need categories, you guys. Come on, help me out. I'm trying to find. I haven't written any trivia questions yet. I got to do 40 tonight. I got to do 40 tonight so that tomorrow I can tweak them all day. That's what I'll do tomorrow. I'll tweak them. Tonight I got to do 40. I need categories. All I got are mustaches. Yes, mustaches will be a category tomorrow, but that's it. That's all I got. I need other fun categories for me to work trivia questions around. All right, that's it. Please tip the show. I mean, it made me feel bad. All right, that's it. I'm done. We're going to be out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. I love you guys. Bye. See you.